Hello, I'm John Conlin, founder of E.I.C. Enterprises. What does E.I.C. Enterprises need this money for? Our crowdfunding goal for this phase is $97,650. Our ultimate goal is to raise around $250,000 to fund a fully national launch. We ultimately want the money to save the world, to save the planet, to save ourselves. Pretty big words, eh? We want the money to spread the idea there's reality in all things, and this should drive our thinking about political and economic systems just as much as it does in cancer medicine. I'm not a finished product type guy, as you can see by all this, so prior to national launch we need to focus on tighter messaging, redesigning the website, operating cost, all those nuts and bolts things. In addition, we'll be hiring a national PR company to ensure effective story placements and news coverage. This will be central to taking E.I.C. to the next level. We don't need to change opinions, we simply need to win the debate. Yes, we need your money to help, but we also need you. Take the challenges. If what we say is true, make a donation. I also have a short video on how to increase your happiness, which is absolutely guaranteed to work. Try it for a week, and if you're happier, make a donation. But we also need you. Based on my business and organizational experiences, I do not trust a board of directors type organizational structure. Most large organizations, be they public companies, unions, or government, seem to sooner or later be run for the sole benefit of those sitting around the table making the decisions. The decision makers and their personal interests soon become the drivers of the organization. This clearly is not sustainable or desirable over the long term for an organization like E.I.C. In addition, we also don't want this organization to become a cult of personality, my personality or anyone's. Remember, the goal of E.I.C. is to drive a paradigm shift. By definition, we don't claim to know all the answers, just that they are knowable and discoverable. We are attempting to create a system to do just that. But it is individual folks who will ultimately be driving these discoveries, unlocking warehouses full of knowledge, today and hundreds of years into the future. Thus, we need an organization design which reflects these goals and one which is impervious to being captured by any special interests. Again, today or 100 years from now. But I believe there is strength in numbers. The more people we have involved, the truer the organization will stay to its mission. Thus we need you. In what manner? That has not yet been finalized. If one looks for examples of long-lived organizational designs, the most successful organizational document in the world is probably the U.S. Constitution. We'll also be using some of this money to further investigate using the Constitution as the model for our founding and operational documents. Ideally, in 6 to 12 months, when we have 500 to 1,000 committed people whose sole goal is to discover the truth, we will set this organization free, and it will exist, with no one directing it, with only moderate and time-limited management. It will be a freestanding organization which exists solely to spread the paradigm. Although I am starting this, I'm not remotely needed for its continuation. This is a flame, and once we get it burning, it will proceed on its own, jumping from person to person. It doesn't take a leader. In fact, a leader contradicts what this paradigm shift actually means. My personal direction of the organization will end at this point. Thus, we will need people who have accepted this paradigm shift to join us in some fashion. Take the challenge and see. Make a donation and give us your contact information. Imagine you could be one of the handful of folks who can change the trajectory of the planet, who can accurately be described as saving the planet and all life upon it. If we ever make it to the stars, you can take credit for being one of the first to support the systems which got us there. What a magnificent legacy. Please make a donation and take the challenges, and have the courage to openly examine a new way of thinking.